Get him.
Oh, we pulled it down. Oh, buddy. Look at all this.
Welcome to another episode of the Pintales Podcast, brought to you by Onyx. Please sponsor.
Quack, 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 man. We've been out the game, man. Where we been?
Dude, we've been hella out the game, dude. We've been everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. Ain't that crazy how that happens?
It is, dude. It is. We stayed pretty busy last week redoing the closet, so that kind of held us back, man. We're really hoping to get that video episode in for you guys. Just unfortunately did not have the time.
How'd your contractor do this time? Which one did y'all end up going with?
Man, we finished with AGTX, dude. They did a fantastic job.
Hell
San
yeah.
Antonio, or technically Spring Branch, but damn, did they do a good job on the closet.
Hell
We had our
yeah.
doubts. We had our doubts. But they came in clutch.
Y'all actually.
I mean, of course, dude. We were like, all right, we're going to get the homie hookup. We're going to see how it comes out. And, I mean, to me, this is your first, like, real closet build, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Nah, I've done a few others.
Yeah, you ain't never done one like mine.
No, I didn't. This is the first I YouTube. I took a week to do it because I was YouTubing it the whole way there.
That's right,
I was
dude.
just following the
You gotta get your
instruction videos.
measurements and algorithms.
Oh man.
That's right.
What you doing, dude? What's going on?
Just left work, man. Just happy to get back on the podcast and shoot the shit a little bit. I've been talking way too much about work recently and remodels and this and that, and it feels good to finally get back to talking about what I love, man. And that is waiting for freaking hunting season, because that is all I've been doing.
Dude, talk about the summer blues, man. Alan Jackson had it right, dude. These fucking summer blues.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I'm not down on the Chattahoochee right now. I'm stuck landlocked. I got to go out on the lake once, and it was rainy and shitty, and good times with good people. But damn, dude, like,
Dude, I've been on the water exactly 2 times. One with you this past week, and one before that was like the first time that I took out the boat this year. And I'm like, what the hell, man? And you know what? It's kind of crazy because, like, I'm on the water. Dude, like, okay, tell our viewers what happened. Tell them what happened while we're out there swimming in that cove, dude. And then fucking ducks come in and we get to experience wildlife. Because what's crazy is, like, I was about to say that, like, I keep driving around and looking at water and doing this. And I don't know if it's just, like, instinctual now, but, like, I'm always looking for wildlife. But, dude, I wasn't even looking for wildlife this time, but that was one hell of a show that we got. You want to just go ahead and walk our listeners through what happened?
Yeah. For sure, man. So we were back in one of the north side coves on Lake Lewisville, and it's not a duck hunting cove. You're actually not even allowed to hunt there. But it's really chill. It's out of the wind, and we pull up, we anchor, and I mean, I don't know, man, maybe 5 minutes into unrolling the lily pad and just kicking our feet up, these 2 mallards swim out, and right behind them are their babies.
Bunch of little
they
ducklings.
just swim right. Yeah, dude, just right out of the mangroves. It was awesome, right? So it's not only just seeing ducks fly around a lake, but like seeing them come out of their hatch and you get to really experience that. Like, I know that was a first for the wives. They haven't seen them do that. I don't see that happen very often. Like, I'm always looking for ducks, so I will see some baby ducks occasionally. But having them swim out 20 feet from us and not even mind that we're there. Then the drake flew off and linked up with another mallard that was flying over us. And I don't know, what, 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later?
If that.
It circles back. Yeah, if that. He circles back around. Like, he's not just circling the sky, but he, like, goes off to the big water and then comes back and links, like, just cups up, lands right with the hen and the babies again, and just swims away with them. And it was awesome. It was just like, that's the duck circle of life outside of us ending it. You know?
No kidding, dude.
And it was really cool to see. I enjoyed it. Alexis scrambled as fast as he could. I mean, if he got some good pictures, he'll put them on the video. But he tried to get the camera. But every time they'd come in, it was just so random. You couldn't expect it.
Yeah. And then I was all
really cool
soaking wet, and I'm in the water, and I'm fucking fumbling for the camera and stuff. But dude, that was really cool to see how, like, the hen would be at the front leading the chicks, the little ducklings, and then the drake would just hang out in the tail end, play caboose, and just make sure nobody got left behind. And they just kind of quietly, just kind of like mac 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 mac, just kind of like make their little noises and stuff, and just guide them. Like, dude, it was kind of cool. It was
Yeah.
it definitely gives you a different appreciation for the resource, for sure. Because I mean, I know we're all hunters, and I know there's a bunch of us that are just like, shoot them all and kill them dead. And as much as I like killing them, it's really cool to see the circle of life just kind of continue. And I hope that those mallards keep that lake on their GPS radar in a year or two when they turn into greenheads, because I'll be trying to put one on the wall for sure.
For sure. No, I mean, that's something that I'm actually listening to another podcast, and obviously they're more diving into the P's and Q's of conservation. And they're talking about the difference, and like, yeah, hunters aren't just killers, right? Like, we take true appreciation for touching grass and getting out there and enjoying nature and seeing like true nature, right? Not only is it beautiful, but it's informative. So those ducks that were swimming around, they weren't hail calling each other, right? How loud were they?
Dude, super, super, super quiet. And it kind of made me think of that video that, I don't know if you sent it to me or I sent it to you, of was it Jace from Duck Dynasty, that he was like, oh yeah, the problem with these competition callers is they'll go in there and just go quack 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 quack. He's like, that's not what they sound like. And
Yeah.
to see what they actually sound like in nature, just hanging out with ducks, and you see how quiet they are or how non-cadence they are, like, it kind of switches up the game, the calling game for me for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I think the trick really is when you're calling, like, you don't just need to scream on your call. Like, if you're just trying to draw attention in deep timber and trying to get these high flyers down to you, like, maybe hit it like that, but then, like, you got to adjust. Like, when they start to work, you don't just keep hitting a full call like quack quack quack. You get down to that quack 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 quack. Like, I don't even know if that's picking up on the microphone, but like, you got to hit it soft in order to really manipulate them to their natural habitat, because when you're screaming, that's not their natural sound. Like, unless you're in a raft of 2,000 ducks, it does not get that loud.
Well, something I was thinking about when we were there, I didn't really bring it up then, but I'm gonna bring it up now, because I was actually thinking about calls, because as they were kind of going by, I was thinking, like, what do I need to do to sound like that? Like, what can I do to mimic that sound and talk to these ducks? And it got me thinking about finisher calls, like how some people have finisher calls and acrylic versus wooden calls and single reeds, double reeds, and all that. And dude, it makes a lot of sense why, like, they say that when you want to get your sound out there and project, to use your acrylics, and then once they're coming towards you, switch over to your finisher, maybe a wooden call or something like that, something with a more natural tone, and something you can quack a little bit softer and get a more realistic uh, call out of it. It just clicked. It made a lot of sense. I mean, I already kind of knew, like, oh yeah, like, that makes sense, but like, that was me living it, like, oh, that makes a lot of freaking sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. When people have multiple calls on their necklace and they're all the same call, like, it's kind of silly. But when you see, like you said, if you have that single reed acrylic that can just blare a call, which could be useful, right? But then you also have that, like, that just, I don't want to call it rotted out, but just waterlogged wooden call that's got that good deep sound, and it's quiet, it's double, triple reed, whatever it is, but it gets real raspy. Like, it's the true sounds of what you're chasing.
Right.
It's kind of like when elk hunter or a moose hunter go out and they use an actual shed to break or to knock it on trees. Like, that's a true sound. But then you got guys that they use their bugle to rustle around leaves that's made out of plastic. Like, it all gets gets the animal's attention. But at the end of the day, like, nature will always win.
Right.
And I think it's, like, super important that people understand that there's a difference in what we are coached to sound like compared to what the animals actually sound like.
Yeah, and I think I think that's something really important to take note of. Is it's kind of like studying film, what great teams study the hell out of film. Tom Brady, example number one, right? He watched more film than anyone, studied the game more than anyone. I think that's our responsibility as callers. Is like, yes, you want to do the best that you can because it's the right thing to do, but also like, don't you want to increase your chances of success or your chances of actually sounding like a duck? Is and just listening to duck sounds. I mean, I know there's a bunch of stuff on YouTube that conservations and refuges and stuff like that. Those guys all put on feed videos and what they sound like when they're eating, what they sound like when they're flying. I mean, there's tons of footage online, and I know that's what I'd like to try to do more of, is just watch those videos and try to sit there and try to make me sound like them, you know?
Yep.
Dude, speaking
Yep.
of conservation and refuges and videos, like, I was also thinking about that. Have you seen this new order that Trump put out for the Department of the Interior to expand and open new hunting lands nationwide?
I have not. I have
Okay.
not.
So, for those of you that already know this, you probably know the ins and outs. For those of you that don't, Trump, or I guess, yeah. So, Trump has put out I don't know if it was like an order, but there's this thing going on where the Department of the Interior is opening up a lot of refuges around the nation. I think something like 95% of refuges around the nation are either opening up to hunting, or they're expanding their hunting programs so that more people can go hunt and access these public lands. Now, this is
That'll be sweet.
this is big news for us, man. And this isn't just for duck hunters. This is for all fishing and hunting in general. And this is all across the nation. Um, and it's barely proposed. I think they're in the stages right now for public comment, so you can go on there and on the websites. I'll try to put a link or try to find the websites. Um, but I think it's pretty badass that they're opening up. I mean, dude, this is like the largest act for opening up more conservation and refuges, like national refuges and stuff, like where I hunt in Rockport, more open to hunting and fishing. And so, whereas they were previously closed, now a lot of them will be open. And it doesn't pertain to all of them, but there is a bunch of them. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's something that we should be on our radar for sure. Something that we should be looking at and reading more on. And if we can, go
Yeah.
and comment on there. But I mean, dude, it strikes right on the note of this whole, like, what we were talking about earlier about, like, yes, we're hunters, but we're also like, hunters are the biggest people for conservation of the resource and everything. And I think that that's really, really cool that they're doing. um
For
i
sure.
i had
So
a I had a good old Google pull up a list of the areas that are affected in Texas, because there's not a lot, but there's a few. And tell me if you know any of these. Lake
yeah.
Meredith National Recreation Area,
Nah.
Padre Island National Seashore. So that's going to be south of Corpus.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yes, south of Corpus, north of Port Mansfield is that area. I know that one. Big
Yep.
Thicket National Preserve. I think that one's East Texas.
Oh. I want to say yes, I know, but no.
Okay. Amistad National Recreation Area. So you can already hunt there. That's over there in Del Rio, Texas, on Lake Amistad. They have some areas for public hunting, but that
Right.
one I think they're going to expand on. Rio Grande Wild and Scenic River. That's part of Big Bend, and they're
Okay.
looking at opening up that for fishing. And then National Wildlife Refuges, federal rollback supply broadly, opening thousands of new hunting and sport fishing opportunities and removing duplicative site-specific restrictions. So one of the cool things that I was reading up on this is that they're opening this up to where in the past it's been closed unless open, and now they're switching over to open unless closed, if that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. That's typical government bullshit, not making any sense. What's the difference?
So the difference is,
Heads or tails, baby, or is it tails or heads?
well, I think the difference is it's always closed unless we say these specific dates are open, to now it's
Yeah,
always open unless we say these specific days are closed, which is
that's
kind
cool.
of
They're
cool.
making like a season to it. Yeah.
Right, right. So I'm gonna keep tabs on this.
One thing that I have been doing research on is like in the realm of lakes, refuges, all that, like a lot for conservation and refuges, is a lot of these places up north, right? Texas does a terrible job at this, and we have one of the largest budgets for it. But a lot of the places up north, east, and west, they will literally like dam up or release the dams to lower the water levels and seed the edges to give wildlife the nutrients they need to thrive, whether that's fish, duckweed, whatever it is, right? And then they refill it up so it grows in on the off season. And that's something that Texas does a really bad job at. So I'm curious to see if they're gonna like make these refuges more huntable. Not only will that push ducks out of the refuge, because I've definitely been on like travel trips where I've looked at a refuge and be like, holy shit, that's 5,000 ducks. And all the rivers and ponds around it, you get lucky if you get a 1-man, maybe 2-man limit out of it, out of a hunt. So I'm curious to see that if they do open this up, if they're going to go ahead and like actually start the conservation side of it, because it's not just protecting the animal, it's leading the animal to the right spots so we can harvest them correctly. Because one thing I was going to mention when we were talking about the drake, the hen, and the babies is for conservation purposes, like we have purists out there that purely want to only get a green head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants a mallard drake on their wall, which is great. I mean, they're beautiful. It's a nice bird. They're definitely prettier than the hens. The hens are still beautiful. But I will say that really locking in and understanding why we need to shoot those 2 hens out of the bag is important, because if you have an overpopulation of hens, the drake has a biology that is different than the hen, and you really need them to get competitive to move around properly. If there's too many hens, they won't move around, and then the hens are all locked up with the same drakes, with the alphas, and it kind of stops production, and that's something that, like, as a hunter, I know you want to get a limit of your greenheads, but like do your part, go after the hen. Don't just try to get greenheads and then a pintail and a wood duck or something like that. Like, go after the mixed bag, because that mixed bag really helps increase the numbers of everything else you're looking for.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense.
So,
I mean, if you're a cattle rancher, you don't want all heifers and all bulls. You want a nice, healthy mix. You want to keep those genetics
right.
nice and clean.
Right. And then but for this refuge thing you're talking about, like, think about how safe those ducks are. So we talked in a previous episode about like the GPS built into the biology.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they let us start hunting these refuges, it's gonna bounce the birds around, which will probably re-regulate the flyways that are completely screwed. Like, the flyways right now have been pushed west and west and west. Like, Louisiana used to be sportsman capital. Like, Arkansas's rice production pretty much killed Louisiana.
Well,
and the refuges that they have, it kind of hurts them all.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said about the whole like flooded corn field shit that they're doing up in Missouri and Arkansas and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we've talked to a lot of people about it, and I know even Senator John Kennedy has even wrote a letter to Congress and explained that since back in the days, since the 90s, mallard harvest is down something ridiculous, like from the millions, from like, I don't know, 9 million ducks a year to something like 100,000. I mean, don't quote me on the numbers, but it's down big time, like 90% down. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people have said it. It's a big thing. It's why Missouri and Arkansas and those states catch a lot of hate. I think we've talked about that before, but I wonder if with this whole national, I wonder how that like what you were talking about earlier, making the reserves or the refuges more food based or opening it up. I wonder what that's going to do for the flyways also, because maybe they're going to be wanting to go to some different places and it's just going to switch everything up. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what they do with it, but I know.
But I mean, the bigger thing is when it comes to presidential elections, right? We all lock in, we all go vote, whether you're voting liberal, Democrat, Republican, like whatever your choice is, it is what it is. But it's usually not those elections that really affect hunters, right? It's your local governments.
Right.
Now, I know ducks are federally protected, but then if they're going to talk about like state laws as far as like, okay, Missouri is going to be okay with you flooding corn, right? And you just got to push for those congressmen. Like, you got to vote for the right congressman that's going to go to Washington for you to convince the Senate and convince the president to say, hey, it's not that it's not fair. We're altering the biology and the flight paths of these ducks, and it's affecting more on a global spectrum than it is just like for the hunter.
Well, also,
So
it's not just affecting the biology of the animal itself, it's affecting the economy of the farmer, dude. Because if you're creating these habitats where ducks want to live, then that's where the ducks are going to go, and that the ducks are going to eat where the ducks are. So all those rice farmers and everybody else that's trying to grow soybeans and all these other, things that the ducks like to eat, you're just asking for it. They're just going to come and eat up your
yeah,
crop. So it would,
yep,
I mean, and there goes the economy of the average everyday American farmer, and everything else that goes
yep.
with it. Now there's,
Dude,
why isn't there enough rice being sold or being produced? Because the fucking ducks are eating it. Why are the ducks eating it? Because
yep,
they're here, because they're
yeah.
not sparsing out. So
And I've got real life experience with that. With a dude I sold a car to out in Lubbock.
mm-hmm.
He was telling me he was on like a couple of thousand acres, and he's got bean fields and he's got cotton, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I made a comment just joking with him, like, dude, let me come out and hunt, ha ha ha, right? And he looked at me and he was like, dude, please. He was like, the duck shit and the goose shit messes up our crop. He was like, they eat everything. Like, we put out the seed, they hammer the seed. The crop comes in, they hammer the crop. The deer do the same. And, I mean, hogs, everything, right? So it's something that they, like, a true farmer, right? Not your big outfits that buy 10,000 acres, flood 2,000 of it, and make different pit blinds all over the place, like to make a perfect duck club.
Right.
Like this, we're talking about the true farmers that are negatively affected. Yeah, the hunters that do this are positively affected. It's no different than somebody buying 10,000 acres in South Texas, getting a bunch of cotton seed and corn, putting it out and high fencing it. And now you've got the best genetics in the world coming out. It's like, yeah, you're the best genetics in the world, but like you are stopping the free flow of the best genetics in the world because you built that high fence.
And this is how conservation and hunters and the resource itself all intermingle in this kind of like, it's kind of like an attribute circle, right? Like you can't have every attribute. If you take away from one attribute, you're going to give to the other. And this is finding that balance. And this is what we talk about every single year. What are the ducks looking like this year? I don't know. What are the crops doing? Did it rain this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that means no crop. Oh, it didn't rain. No crops, no birds. I mean, it
Right.
sounds like simple math, but it's not, because like we've talked about, one thing affects everything else. And this is, I think, why it's so important for us as hunters to do our due diligence and see what we can do. And like you said, vote for the right people, man, because it really does affect everything. And I know a lot of us enjoy the sport, and we all talk about Grandpappy's gun, and we all say, oh man, when I have kids or whatever, this is going to be my kid's first shotgun and everything. Your kid might not need a shotgun because there might not be a duck for that shotgun to shoot, And so,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just important, dude. It's just really important, but it's important we don't mess it up for the next generation coming in behind us.
For sure, dude. One of the, like, I hope I don't get a cease and desist on this one, but I've been listening to the Quack Shack recently, one of their podcasts, and
Shout out Quack Shack.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they're out of Dallas, so it's kind of hits home whenever they talk, and I listen to a lot of what they say, and I love it. I mean, they're a great podcast, but they were just talking about on one of their last episodes how the like being nature lovers, right, as hunters, and also a lot of us having jobs in construction and sales and this and that, real estate, even, like all of these places that have been really well known, like Princeton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Princeton, the genetics around there are fantastic. That's 5-10 minutes away from McKinney, which is a booming part of Dallas right now, right?
Right.
And it's like we look at it as, oh, look at this land, like we want to hunt it, this and that. And then you have private equity firms that are like, I'm building a 5,000 house cookie cutter neighborhood, right?
Right.
So not only are we just destroying the habitat for the animal, but we're destroying the ability to just go out there and enjoy nature.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. Like, I don't want to get too political or too hippie on that, but like, it sucks, man. I mean, look at Prosper, look at all these northern cities that just have become cities rather than a small town that had pretty good hunting or farmland or just natural scenery to look at, and it just kind of slowly but surely deteriorates, and we got to do our part to make sure it doesn't.
Well, it's like everything else, dude. Progress is coming. I mean, hell, that's what Yellowstone was all about, right? That's what the entire
Right.
series is about. But it
Yeah.
sucks, dude. It's a big problem, and it's only gonna get worse. I don't see it, but it's cool to see. I mean, I did vote for Trump and everything like that. There's been a bunch of stuff that I haven't agreed with necessarily in the past couple of weeks, but it is really cool to see that they haven't lost their touch, and that they're still kind of doing things for that, that positively affect me in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I know it sounds little like, oh, they're just gonna open the refugees for you to be able to hunt a little bit more. Cool. I mean, this is what we talked about in one of our podcasts, right? Like, look for places to hunt, open up your opportunities, and this is how you do that. So it's cool that, fuck, dude, this is just what I needed. Just something else more that I can add to my bag or arsenal when I'm trying to pick out a spot to go duck hunting.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That's sick.
But yeah, man, what else? Let's get off the politic train, because it's, I guess
Yeah.
summer blues are hitting the depression for everything.
I mean, dude, besides that, dude, I can't wait to go out to the lake and go hang out for a little while again and stuff like that. It's been
Dude,
June's been rough.
speaking of the lake, all right, so obviously we always talk about duck boats. Me and you constantly, Facebook Marketplace blowing everything up.
Yeah, we do.
Dude, that little 16-foot Prodigy that's got the jet drive on the back.
Oh yeah, 33 Rex.
I hit up homeboy. I think he's got it at 30. No, it is like 33.
Yeah.
But I hit up homeboy and I was like, 27. Let's make a deal. Like, let's do this. No response. Dude, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. When I didn't lowball the shit out of him. Dude, you got a 16-foot John boat with a jet drive on the back. It's not a duck boat. I mean, it's not a duck motor or mud motor. Sorry. And I don't even get a response. Like, I didn't lowball the shit out of this guy. I didn't say like, all right, dude, 10 grand, I'll take it.
Yeah, no shit.
You know? So I'm just thinking like, dude, I just wish, if you're going to sell something, all right, let's be 100% honest. A Prodigy is a badass duck boat. Timber Creek, all these other companies, right? They're all badass. But at the end of the day, it's a John boat. We're not in COVID anymore. These boats are not holding like they used to. Prodigy's got 50 boats on their lot ready to sell, brand new. And I could go buy brand new, to be honest. Like, it's only like $2 grand more than what homie's asking for. I can get a new one for like 35.
Right.
And I just think about like, dude, yes, you bought it in 2022, 2023. That was the worst time to buy anything. I sell cars. Like, you bought a car in 22 and 23, you paid like, you were upside down unless you paid cash. If you finance, you were still upside down in 2026. And it's because of the market, dude. Markets go up, markets go down. But they are trying to hold this Prodigy game so hard like it's a fucking Rolex, and it is not. You know?
Dude.
Like, they are making them. As soon as you want one, you call them, they'll build you one. Take a couple of months, but you'll get it.
And I'm not saying that Prodigies aren't great boats. They're fantastic fucking boats. They're badass. They're cool as shit. But there is a difference between giving you $33,000 for a boat and giving Prodigy $35,000 for the same boat, and it's going to come with a warranty, and it's new,
Right.
and there's going to be some customer service and everything like that. I get it, man. Like, marketplace is getting kind of shifty to where like everybody still thinks that their stuff is worth a lot more than it is, and I get it. Like, a lot of people got burned, but like, dude, you have to realize there's, it's your stuff's not new. It's like new. It's in great condition, but it's not brand new, man. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is one thing that makes Prodigy and Timber Creek and these companies, like, their boats really so exciting to duck hunters, at least in my eyes, is the paint job.
Yeah, they
Right?
just look
It
fucking
looks,
cool.
the boats look awesome, right? But at the end of the day, it is a crimped piece of aluminum. So
Yeah.
like it's a motor vehicle. It devalues. Just think about Mastercraft, Taigas, Nautiques for the wakeboard world. Like, dude, those don't hold anymore. You can go back to $130,000 boat 3 years ago that's 70 grand right now, 80
Dude,
grand.
they're depreciating like a fucking rock. But also, I mean, it also has to do a lot with the interest rates and stuff like that, right? So I
For
get
sure.
it. I get it. But and a lot
Yeah,
of
like,
a lot of these people finance out to 20 years and shit like that, and it just sucks. A lot of people, like you said, they bought during the worst time, and now they owe more than it's worth, and all these other things that are leading to have people lose money. But it sucks, man. I get it, but it sucks. Do I still want a
It
Prodigy?
does.
Absolutely. They're fucking badass boats.
Yep. Yep. How's your search going, man? You been seeing anything that's caught your eye?
There's been a bunch of things that catch my eye, man, but I got to sell a bunch of stuff first.
Yeah, I feel that.
I am
feel
selling.
that.
If
No.
anyone's interested in a 1976 Sleek Craft with a Ford 460 block jet boat on the back, hit your boy up. I'm trying to sell mine, so I don't need that thing. I'm really trying to sell that jet boat so I can buy a John boat. So I'm trying to stay with the J boats. I just different kind of J boat.
Yeah, seriously, guys. If any of y'all are interested, it's a fast little boat. It's loud as shit. It's pretty cool. He's not asking an arm and a leg for it either. So reach out, comment below, let us know if you're interested. And this dude makes his own schedule. So if you're in the, I'm gonna say the San Antonio to Dallas area, he'll make it work. He'll figure it out.
Dude, all I want is $5,000 for that thing. It runs and drives. It runs and drives, man. I just want $5,000 for it. Dude, I might
Post
sell
a
my
picture
Harley
on the
too.
video. Let them see.
I'll put some pictures of it. I'll let them see.
Yeah.
But dude, I might sell my Harley too. I don't know, dude. I really haven't made up my mind, but it's definitely crossed it. I think it's on its way out. I don't use it that much anymore. I used to use the shit out of it, and I used it once last year, maybe twice.
Dude.
And yeah, and I mean,
that's why I sold mine.
Yeah, dude. And
plain and simple. It just wasn't getting used.
Right. And you're not even here anymore because we used to ride together. Now we can't because you're in Dallas and I'm over here.
Right.
But
right.
I don't know, dude. I might sell it. It's just sitting there doing nothing for me. Now, if I do all that, I'm definitely getting the K5 Laser back. But I think I might, dude. I really do think I might. What's the point of having it there?
For sure.
But I don't know, dude. Besides that, I'm just trying to me and Shane talked about going fishing again, making another video. Maybe that'll be a cool little thing we can work on.
Yeah.
Dude, that video got to 2,000 views, man. So thank y'all. If y'all listened to the last podcast and then went and watched the video, thank you. So I've never had anything I've ever produced get 2,000 views. And I know.
Yeah, no, it's a good video too, man.
It's cool to watch. It's entertaining, you know. But at least I think so. But I'm excited, man. That's kind of cool. So I know Shane's super hyped up about it. I was hyped up about it. We wanted to go shoot another one. So we might be doing that. I really want to go fix some duck blinds down in Rockport. I really want to go down with some lumber and some materials, some tools, and maybe hit up Buddy Cullen and see if Buddy Cullen wants to go down there and fix some blinds with me. I know he's got his boat, and I can conjure something up to where we can go out there and hit a few blinds. That would be badass.
Yeah, something that I'm totally cool with. I don't know if you want to throw it on here, man, but throw the link to the video in the comments, just because I want y'all to see what kind of quality you're going to be getting during duck season. And this is just the beginning, right? He's testing everything during the off season with fishing and just little trips he's taken. So he's got his own page. Definitely check it out. But like, we're excited for this year because this whole podcast of just listening to our voices and seeing the Pintales Podcast sticker up there is cool for us. But like, we are stoked for this season to really get some video footage and really get on the map with that. It's going to take y'all spreading the word, telling people like, yo, I just saw this awesome video of these guys, or dude, it's the dumbest video, but it's hilarious. Like, share that shit. share it with everybody you know, and keep commenting and liking, because that's definitely how we apparently build the algorithm on YouTube, and that's our predominantly viewed resource.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
would say,
Spotify
maybe.
does
Yeah.
well, but for sure YouTube is where I want to get more content on. And to be honest with you, I care more about building a presence on YouTube solely on the fact that the videos that we post, I'm not going to post them on Spotify, obviously. I'll be posting them on YouTube, so it'd be cool to do that. But I mean, dude, the page isn't doing bad. I know our Instagram's up to 50 followers, which is cool. The YouTube
Okay.
is up to I think 31 or 32 followers or something. Let me check. Because that's kind of badass. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess this is the part where most people would say, "Oh, look, here we go. It'll tell me right here. Your channel, 30 subscribers. 30 subscribers is what we have on the Pintales podcast. But yeah, I guess this is where most people would say, we have a lot of new content coming in soon. Y'all stay tuned. But like yeah, stay tuned, but like low key it's already out. And like Ryan said, it's experimental footage that I'm thinking about doing that style of. There'll definitely be more pictures and videos and stuff like that, but I think that kind of style of video is what I'm going to be trying to shoot for. I got very little footage of last year just because I was so new to everything. I spent all my money on getting a canoe and the motor and everything. I didn't have any money left over for camera gear, but this year we've got some new camera gear, so I'm definitely going to be dropping some videos. I'll post it. I'll post a link of it so they can check it out.
Awesome. Well, dude, I just pulled up. I am stealing Safe's GT3 RS for the day tomorrow. So I got to
Hell
sneak into this
yeah.
garage while he's in Jamaica and take it for a rip.
Yeah,
I know
man.
he's going to
Shout
be
out to
listening
my
to
boy
this.
Saif.
Uh-huh. Appreciate you letting me whip the car up and flex on my boss. So I know you're listening, so definitely like this video. Everybody else, man, like, subscribe, share it. Tell people about it. Get our name out there. Help us out, man. We'd really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And shout out to Safe for being the our day one that's always like, dude, when's the new video dropping? Shout out to Katie and shout out to Safe. Y'all are making this really enjoyable for us.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Catch y'all later.